These Jews showed up to support Palestine until they're told what Gazans really think of Jews. What follows is one of the most uncomfortable reactions ever caught on camera.
So how do you feel about that? So right behind me is a Palestine flag that they just hung up. It's 11 a.m. They said that it was planned to raise at 12 p.m. We were just walking down the road. You blink and you miss it. They just sneakily put up the flag. This is an American city. We're in Provincetown, Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island. And you see all these news trucks pulling in right now. If you pan over, you can see NBC and you can see ABC.
Hamas wants to kill every Jew and destroy Israel. Okay? I would like to moderate. No. Can I moderate this? Let's have a nice civil debate here. It's going to happen in 2 weeks. Don't touch me, you fireface. Let's have a nice civil debate here. It's going to happen.
Right. Okay, you got a microphone?
Yeah.
I'll give you my opinion.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention my name. Two things. That flag that was raised represents two things. Number one, it does not represent a country. Okay, it had opportunity to be a country, and Israel would support it 100% of the time if Hamas put its arms down. Number two, that flag represents the destruction of Israel. Okay, not the Palestinian people. It represents Hamas's goal and agenda is to destroy Israel. That's what that represents. So any government official that is proud of hanging that sign should be fired immediately and actually deported from this state. Okay, it's a sad situation.
Rachel Miller.
Thank you.
She's behind this.
Tell me about Rachel Miller.
Well, she's the president of the council. She's Jewish, which is amazing. And from what I understand, she was one of two councilors and two whole people from the city of Providence that wanted this flag flown. Two people.
And you know what? To want Palestinians to have their sovereign country, Jews wanted that, Israel wanted that for decades. They've had more than 5 opportunities, were given opportunities to be their own country. But each time they refuse. Why? Because they don't feel Israel should exist. They don't want a two-state solution. Their goal is a one-state solution, and that is no Israel, all of so-called Palestine. And what's sad is Jews occupied Palestine before it was even called Palestine. So Israel's been there much longer. The proof and the evidence keeps coming by every day. That flag represents the destruction of Israel. It should never be put on any public or even private property, never mind state property.
Do you believe that any foreign flag should be allowed up there?
Apparently, again, it is against the law to put any foreign flag on unless there's some exceptions.
Dignitary.
I don't see a dignitary. Number one. Number two.
There can't be a dignitary because Palestine is not a country.
That's right.
So there can't be a dignitary.
Did the mayor have a say? Because I'm just trying to understand fully, because the mayor is also Jewish.
The mayor just converted to Judaism within the last year, I believe.
I saw that.
But he would have voted not to do it, correct?
Yeah, he didn't have a choice, okay?
The state law does state that you cannot put a foreign flag.
Correct.
So that's what I'm just trying to understand.
That's not even a foreign flag.
Can I add on to this?
Yeah, so absolutely. Yes, please.
Thank you so much. So I did speak to the Providence Police Department about this. I said, hey, there's going to be a violation of the law happening. Are you going to enforce it? They essentially told me that no, they won't. They won't be enforcing it, and that it's up to the city council and the mayor to decide. And I said, hold on, wait a second. Their role is to write laws. You're a police department, and your role is to enforce the law. Yeah. I also spoke with the legal team at the governor's office, who said, well, that law just simply hasn't been enforced for years. So something's going on in our state, and it's clear that there's backdoor deals happening between the mayor and the city and the Providence police, because they really should be the ones taking action on this. And also, I disagree politely with what my colleague said. I do think that the mayor was responsible, and he could have said no. He could have gone against what the city council, the two councilors wanted, and said, I don't stand for this and won't allow it.
So he's right. There actually were 5 documented times that Palestine was offered peace, the most notable one being the 4th time when President Bill Clinton offered Palestine 96% of the West Bank and all of Gaza, as well as parts of East Jerusalem, some control of the holy sites, and billions in aid for refugees. Palestine denied it. President Clinton to this day says, quote, you walk away from these once-in-a-lifetime peace opportunities, and you can't complain 25 years later when the doors weren't all still open and all the possibilities weren't still there. You can't do it.
That's President Clinton, who gets emotional speaking about this and the fact that this failed under his leadership. Now, thank God it failed for a whole bunch of other reasons. But it actually did also produce something enormously productive in the offer, in showing that Arabs don't care about peace. They want to annihilate Israel.
Now, as for the state law in Rhode Island, the young lady is right. The law specifically states it shall be unlawful to display the flag or emblem of any foreign country upon the flagstaff within this state of Rhode Island. I will later speak to a state rep about this who was actually at the protest. Now, before I talk to the Palestine side, you must have noticed this guy ensuring that any journalist or the pro-Israel side couldn't go toward the steps. Well, I suspect that he's a paid protester. Here he is walking towards the protest without the keffiyeh on and no safety vest. He then says hello to one of these protesters as if they are co-workers and picks up his safety vest. Then he walks down and puts the keffiyeh on as if this was at all natural. Here's him at the front and center of a completely different protest all the way out in DC. Here he is at another protest, always at the front. It shouldn't come as a surprise that he works for a nonprofit, and it's all the way out in Boston. It's called the Bar Foundation. Now let's talk to the Palestine side. I know it's very hard to speak to them once the protest starts, so I got there early and asked the organizers what they were doing out here. This is what they had to say.
I just talked to the Israel side right over there. Do you mind saying a few words about what's going on here?
We can give you contact info for our press person.
Well, let me talk to you because you have the flag here, and I think it'd be good, no?
I'm happy to give you contact info for our press person.
Just a quick interview because I just talked to them. They were happy to talk, so I just want to capture both sides. Anything to say?
We're happy to give you contact info for the press person.
I'll take the contact info of the press person, but you're in front of the city hall. Sir, do you want to say anything?
Free Palestine will have give you contact information.
So you heard it here, folks. So listen. So the people behind me are occupying a municipal building, and they won't speak for themselves.
Now, since the organizers won't talk to me, I'm going to share with you unreleased footage of a documentary that I'm working very hard on. I went to Little Palestine, which is home to the largest enclave of Arab Americans in New York City. Now, I went there to learn what the pro-Palestine side actually wants. I ended up convincing an owner of a daycare center to talk to me. Outside his business, he has plenty of ceasefire messaging, but what does he actually want? Keep in mind, this conversation is inside of our country. And then ask yourself, is this a turning point for America? How do you want to see the war in Gaza resolved?
Let me tell you something about Hamas.
Yeah.
Hamas was elected by the Palestinian people. Was election, and who was in charge is this country. And what's happened? Hamas won. So, and after that, with the help of this country and other country like Egypt, and then help this guy Abu Mazen or Abbas, like a coup against Hamas. So Hamas, if the people, they don't like Hamas in Gaza, Hamas will never last for 14 months.
So you think they could elect Hamas out, the people of Palestine?
If they don't want Hamas, they will let them go.
Yeah. What do you think of Hamas? Do you feel that they...
Freedom fighters.
The freedom fighters, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel like October the 7th was a success for the
Change
world?
history.
Yeah, like it was a good thing.
Change the history.
So you feel like October 7th was good, yeah?
Well, of course.
Is this a wall? How can I get into this line of work? To get paid to stand out here, how can I get into this line of work? Is it Craigslist?
It's quite ironic. The messaging is all about tearing down the walls. We heard it directly from them when they occupied Trump Tower, and yet they want to put their own walls up. Now you'll notice the Palestine side so far has put up a wall, is silent, and hides their identity. On the Israel side, no one is hiding their identity. They've been open to talk, and they have American flags. There's not one American flag on the Palestine side. This is just the reality you see before you. What else is reality is that I not only love my parents dearly, but they are a key part of the Nate Friedman Show. They are often behind the camera, but today you'll actually see my father talk to a protester. Now, given how much my family means to me, my heritage was a perfect partner for the show. If you've ever been curious what your origin story really is, there is no better way to find that out than to look at your family tree with my heritage. All it needs from you is to enter in a few relatives manually, like here I am entering my grandfather into my heritage, and then it begins to auto-populate in minutes because of their instant discoveries feature. My heritage is trusted by 90 million users, and they have 33 billion easily searchable historical records. You may be a descendant of a king or a president, and let's be honest, that would be kind of cool to know. Now, I wanted to show my dad his family photo from the 1950s from black and white, fully restored in color, and, well, here goes. Okay, so I have your family photo right here. I can actually make it go into full color. So
What do you do now?
I drop it into here. And it just takes like literally a few seconds. I'm not speeding anything up. And then you can go from left to right, and you can see that that's your
Wow,
your
that's so
family.
nice.
If you want to do that with your family, or just really want to know more about where you really come from, then I can think of nothing better than signing up for the free trial with MyHeritage. Just save the link in the description or scan the QR code and enjoy. And now, back to the protest.
You guys are Jewish? I'm Jewish too. Awesome. So tell me about this. I've seen Jews that are for Israel, Jews that are not for Israel. So tell me your side.
Yeah, so we are here with Jewish Voice for Peace, which is
This is a bar right-wing reporter. We're asking people not to.
So how do you feel about that? So this guy just walked in, right? And he told you not to talk to me. Is that right? Do you want to clarify? How do you guys feel about this? Is it not pathetic, right? That you come out here, you can't speak for yourself. A guy that's being paid to wear in a safety vest that he bought from Amazon, all right, comes over here.
Affiliated with that person, so
that person is a friend of ours.
they're not just a random person.
Okay.
So
Okay. You guys are all friends. I always imagined that anyway.
Everyone knows you.
Everyone knows me?
You are. They know what you do.
Thank you, man. I've been working very hard, and everyone knows me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
New York, right?
I'm from New York. Yeah, my name's Nate Friedman. Yeah. Are you Jewish too?
I am not answering anything to you.
So this is the all-star who stopped my interview with them, calling me a right-wing reporter. First of all, if you come to a protest, you should speak into any microphone. The whole idea is to get your point shared. Secondly, by rushing over and stopping the interview, you are essentially announcing to the entire world that you're paid, because this took place on a Friday in the middle of the day and you're running around stopping interviews. It's not exactly unpaid behavior. And oh, look, this is him or her at a protest all the way in New York City. Remember, these protests are anything but authentic. Now, as for the guy who says everyone knows me, he's quite the character, I've learned. His name is Stuart Waldman, and he's a professional protester. Here's him protesting Chase. Here's him protesting in front of the Met. Here's him protesting in front of Trump Tower, and him at even more protests. His Facebook profile picture is literally him being arrested at a protest. The only thing missing from his profile is the rate that he charges. Here's him organizing yet again another protest. I'm not gonna lie to you, this guy does keep busy.
We have reinforcements here.
What I find most interesting about these people is that it's all about acceptance, just not for the other side. You can see it clearly even in Providence, because I walked around a whole bunch before the protest, and I found anti-ICE posters, basically so people can notify if they've seen ICE. I saw many different flags, just not American ones. I saw many signs where it just becomes sign inflation, like if you don't have a BLM sign on your door, then you just must be a bigot. I also saw many old buildings steps away from City Hall that were completely abandoned. So it would seem like the city has bigger fish to fry than deciding what foreign flag to fly over its residents. And now, back to the protest for a very interesting take by this woman.
I think all humans are humans.
What's that?
All humans are humans.
All humans are humans?
Very profound. All humans are humans. But before continuing, I just want to share that the one thing that Nate is really exposing so beautifully is he's showing how these protesters are paid actors. It's amazing how he researched and found the same faces in so many different places playing the same game.
Oh. Where are you from?
I'm from Providence.
Providence? Where are your family originate from?
Is that relevant? Although I do notice that there's more racial diversity on this side than on the other side, right? This is the most racial diversity side on this side than on the other side. The reason why I care about this is I think it's a human rights issue for everyone.
Yeah.
It's also an issue about freedom of speech.
I mean, when I see, people that are diverse on the Palestine side, my question is like, I don't quite understand, because in Palestine, they don't tolerate that. It is an apartheid. They only accept Islam.
Actually, well, it's apartheid because of the Israeli state.
So Palestine is an apartheid because of the Israeli states. Obviously, in my line of work, I hear a lot of stupid shit. That actually may be in first place, and here's why. 99% of Palestine is Muslim. Now here's the graph of diversity in Israel. Muslims serve in parliament in Israel. They're doctors, teachers, you name it. Now, good luck running for office as a Jewish person in Gaza. That's going to be the shortest political campaign in human history. But just the idea that Israel is forcing Palestine to be only Muslim was something I actually have not heard before. As for the free speech issue, many of the free speech protests we see on campuses involve a lot of vandalism. Now, that's breaking the law, and it's important to make that distinction. Now, the organizers of this protest weren't very happy about my line of questioning with this woman.
I do want you to...
What's wrong? Can I not talk to her?
No, I'm just checking in. Sorry, could I talk to you for a second?
Okay, I will.
Oh yeah, let's talk together. Yeah, let's talk together. You're gonna stop her from talking. Go ahead. Say why you're gonna stop her from talking.
Take a step away. I'm going to talk to her one-on-one.
I'm in a public street. I can do this all I want. Sorry. Okay, I heard you're not allowed to talk to me. How do you feel that somebody who's paid to be here is going to tell you that you're not allowed to talk to me? How do you feel about that?
They did not tell me that I'm not allowed to talk.
What did they say?
They are encouraging me not to talk to right-wing people. All humans are human.
All people are human.
All humans are human who deserve dignity and self-respect.
Including Hamas.
All people are people.
Okay, all people.
Now, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the atrocities that Hamas committed on the 7th of October. Now, I'm of the opinion that if you rape, burn, and kidnap innocent women and children, you lose your right to be called people.
Every human deserves a right to live and deserves a right to dignity. And to me, it doesn't matter if they're born Jewish or born a Palestinian, born black, born in this country or another country. I think that we all have a right to dignity, and right now the dignity of the Palestinians has been taken away from them, and that's not okay by me.
Dignity like in other countries, where would Israel take a sample of how to treat Palestinians, like in Syria or Lebanon?
I'm not going to put a name on it. We know dignity when we see it, just like we know what suffering is. We know what starvation is. These are things that don't have to describe exactly. It should be obvious. And right now, when you see like images coming out of Gaza, because you're not actually allowed to go there right now. But
I agree with you. I look in the civil food, but I see a lot of overweight women. How would you say that?
Often you people are overweight because of poverty. You see that in the United States. The poorer you are, the less likely you're to have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. So being overweight doesn't have anything to do with being...
to provide them fresh vegetables.
You know what? I don't care who provides it, but right now Israel's preventing shipments of food from going in. Israel is preventing aid from entering. This is a fact.
It's actually not a fact. Israel does give Gaza food, and they are the only country that provides aid to the people attacking them. This would be the equivalent of Britain supplying Germany with food and electricity. Do you think that if Winston Churchill had the option to stop food and power to Germany, that he wouldn't take it in an instant?
I'm here to support the Palestinian people who need support, and they especially need support from Jewish people, because it's the Jewish people who've been
99% Palestinians are just straight.
That is not true.
Well, there was survey, but they won't.
Well, you have to show me that study. I'm not going to argue about it until you show me the study.
Look at the interviews independent inside the West Bank. in Gaza Strip, they do the interviews, and you look at the statistics. In other words, if you would go to Gaza and just stand up say I'm Jewish, I don't know what will happen to you.
You know what? I don't know what will happen to me either. But I think one thing is interesting is what's the definition of anti-Semite? Because according to some definitions, like the IRA definition, I would be considered an anti-Semite. So possibly. I think that, and right now, for instance, a lot of stuff that Trump is saying, like all these universities are anti-Semitic because they're teaching history, they're doing other things. So I think you have to look at the actual definition.
One question was there: do Jews control the world? And you say yes.
Well, that's clearly something that would be anti-Semitic. We agree on that.
Right, but that's what 99% on the West Bank.
I would have to see that survey. I'm not going to take you in your world.
Would you change your mind about your stance when you go home and you see the survey and you see that? Would you be open to changing your mind? Just curious.
You know what? If I saw a survey that said that, it would make me sad to know that. But I also, if that was what the actual survey said, it would, I have to get this right, I'd understand why people have those feelings. Like if someone goes and kills your entire family and those people.
Okay, but now we're going toward understanding those feelings. Let's stick on to whether or not if you saw the study and you saw those numbers, would you be open to changing your mind?
I'm always open to changing my mind about things, but I'm not open to changing my mind about what Israel is doing to Palestine is wrong.
I understand.
I'm not open to that at all.
Okay, so if you see the study that it says 99% of people that are in Gaza want to kill Jews, you wouldn't change your mind about Israel's approach to the war. I'm not talking to you, so thank you.
I have a hard time believing that study is accurate. So show me
so
the
now
study.
we're back to whether the accuracy of the time.
I really have a hard time.
That if she was in Sderot on October 7, 23,
I'd be killed. I know that. I'm Jewish.
Killed.
Yeah, I know that.
You would be killed because
of
they
course.
wouldn't give a shit that you were Jewish.
I would be killed because I'm Jewish for a lot of reasons. But a lot of Palestinians are being killed just because they're Palestinians, like those babies, those children. No.
Putting them in the way.
That's not true. You know what? I'm ending this conversation because you do not see the true reality of what's happening on Gaza. Conversation's over.
Give it to.
So the number is 97%. 97% of Palestinians hold anti-Jewish beliefs. Also, the leaders of Hamas have been very clear that they want Islam to be the only religion.
وسندعوهم إلى الإسلام وندعو بوجه الإسلام وندعو جميع النصارى للإسلام. نعم.
This isn't just about hatred toward Jews, it's hatred toward freedom of religion and all Western values. And the independent interviews that my father was talking about are ones like this, where a woman in the West Bank, not even in Gaza, blatantly says the quiet part out loud. Keep in mind the Jewish protester who is on this woman's side while you listen to this.
Should there be more October 7 type attacks?
غير على جميع الناس وعلى جميع العالم كل الناس صارت تعرف حقيقة الاحتلال وسياسات.
And what was interesting is that before the pro-Israel guy came in, I actually think the woman was giving it some thought. As a thought experiment, if everyone Israel is fighting against wants to eliminate you, maybe you'll think twice before occupying a government building in America to hold that sign. This person who's eyeing me down is a biology teacher at Providence College.
Do you want to say who's paying you?
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
So remember when Boston had the big dig and everybody knew that tunnels were being built? Well, the same thing I imagine happened in Gaza. People were hired and they put in tunnels and they knew the tunnels were under the schools and under the hospitals. So when people say innocent Gaza people, I don't believe that they were innocent. They were being paid. And they took billions from the European Union and the United States and the Arab countries, and they could have built a gorgeous city on the Mediterranean, but instead they put in tunnels big enough for 2 jeeps to go through at the same time in order for warfare. So people knew what was going on.
What do you say to the folks that say that this flag behind us is not the Hamas flag, but the Palestine flag, and therefore they're standing with the Palestinian people, they're not standing with Hamas?
Okay, so the temple, the Jewish temple was built in Jerusalem 1,000 years before Christ. And the Jewish calendar is now in the year 5785, and the Islamic calendar is in the year 1447. I just looked it up. So the Jewish people were there in the region more than 4,000 years, more than 3,000 years before Muhammad wrote the Quran and before Islam was started. So when you're talking about a land grab, you can't say the Jews are taking the Arab land. Jews have always lived there. Yes, other people lived there too, but they were generally Jordanians or Lebanese or Syrians that happened to move over. And the Palestinian people, Yasser Arafat and people who were his friends in the 1960s came up with that word, that term for the people, because they aren't a Palestinian people. They are people from Lebanon or people from Jordan, and it was made up.
Now, before I actually run into a state rep at the protest and someone running for the U.S. Senate in Rhode Island, I want to show you a conversation I had before the protest started. First of all, I didn't actually know there was even going to be a protest. I came here because I heard that they were flying a foreign flag on a government building, and that's news enough for me to take a 5 a.m. train from New York. So when I saw this guy's truck and the flag that he had on the back, I of course wanted to get his opinion, the same way I would want to get his opinion if he had a Palestine flag on his car.
So I see you with the flag. I stopped you on the road because I see there's a Palestine flag right above us.
Yes,
What are your thoughts on this flag above us?
Listen, Rhode Island known as taking the weapon from people, and now they know as hosting a terrorist in their own town. And it's bad because this is just like a disease. Once it's done, then it's going to be just like in Gaza and Israel. You don't know that yet, but that's going to be so bad that you will going to be so sorry then you even put that flag up. You support terror. This is not Palestine. This is a PLO flag. This is a terrorist group. Not a Palestine. There's no such a thing, Palestine. You should know about it. You should be able to recognize it already. Israel went through enough things to show the world that whatever you call Palestine, these people are animals. And I include everybody because on the October 7th, even those who you call non-involved, loitering, killing, beating up. So you guys do your thing, but you bring it on yourself, that's for sure.
Do you think that, do you feel like there's mass support for a stunt like this? Do you feel that the people in Providence support this?
Well, it's nothing to do with the people in Providence anymore. This is what the city decide. This is what the politics decides. They don't give a shit about these people in Providence. They just do whatever they want for the money, for the power. I don't know if this is a lot of money involved by supporting this flag. Maybe oil, maybe more money, maybe airplane, I don't know, something.
Hamas welcomes UK, France, and Canada's statement as a step in the right direction. If those guys are supporting you, then you're truly lost.
I'm State Representative Charlene Lima. I represent Providence and Cranston in District 14. I'm here because I believe this flag raising is wrong. That flag right now represents a terrorist organization, Hamas, which cuts babies, not the good people of Palestine. So until the Hamas terrorist organization is eradicated, then we can celebrate the freedom with the Palestine people.
My name's Ray McKay. I'm running for the United States Senate here in Rhode Island in 2026. I'm here supporting our Jewish friends, family, community for what we've got going on here today. The flag that you see being raised today is a flag under the control of Hamas. This is not about the Palestinians. This is about October 7th, when 1,200 plus Israelis were slaughtered and murdered by an invasion of the Palestine army, the Hamas people. The Hamas have not fired their government. They are not running under a peaceful government. So to come out and say, we just heard them say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That is talking about genocide of the Jewish people. That is talking about the obliteration of the Israeli state.
Nate
So while this man running for
Friedman
Senate
does a
telling
very
me
good
about
job
his
at bringing out
platform,
certain
a woman
elements
came along
at these
to disagree
protests
with
that I have not
everything
seen from
he
other
said.
interviewers.
Now you'll want to see
So
what
kudos
she
to him, and
realizes
may he
at the end.
continue
So
being
you're gonna
able
educate me on
to
that?
do that
Okay, against these
successfully.
protesters who are out there. Those are the
It's
few
very, very
that I have
important to
to
get
say.
this
I'm
out.
gonna